We want to find the least common denominator. That's what LCD stands for, least common denominator for 3/4 and 1/6. So that's the smallest number that's divisible by both 4 and 6, the two denominators that we have right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take 4 and factor it into the product of its prime factors, 2 times 2. So in order for 4 to divide a number, 2 and 2 have to divide the number. The factors of 4 divide the number means that the 4 itself divides the number. And then 6 is equal to 2 times 3. So for a least common denominator to be divisible by 6, it needs to be divisible by 2 and also by 3. So when I do that, then I build my least common denominator from these factors I have for the two denominators right here. So I know I want my least common denominator to be divisible by 4, so I know that it needs these two factors, 2 and 2. So I'll put those in. It needs factors of 2 and 2. In order for 6 to divide it, it needs a factor of 2. Okay, it has one. And it needs a factor of 3. It doesn't, so I put the 3 in. So when I look at this, 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12. That's the least common denominator for 4 and 6. And if you say, okay, how many times does 6 divide 12? It's whatever factor's left over here. Here's your 6. That's how many times 6 divides 12. If you want to know how many times 4 divides 12, you look at the two factors here. There's your 4, so 4 divides 12 3 times. So this is the smallest number that we can find that's both 4 and 6 divide. Now, some people just multiply the two denominators. 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, that's great. That's a common denominator, but it's not the least common denominator. All the problems you work with common denominators will work with a denominator of 24, a common denominator of 24, but you'll end up having to do a little bit extra work at the end in reducing things down to lowest terms. So when we say we want the least common denominator, we want the smallest number that's divisible by 4 and also by 6. How many numbers are divisible by 4 and 6? An infinite number. There's no limit to the number of numbers that are divisible by 4 and 6. For a number to be divisible by 4, it just needs a factor of 4. To be divisible by 6, it needs a factor of 6. How many numbers have factors of 4 and 6? Many, many, many numbers. So this, though, is the smallest of all those numbers. 12 is the least common denominator for the fraction 3/4 and the fraction 1/6.